Hey, what's up there guys, Leprechaun here. Today it's Conan Exiles update number 23, adding the biggest thing, which is the trebuchet, this awesome thing that you get to use to help tear down enemy walls and battlements, as well as some other things. Right, so first I'm just going to show you guys the trebuchet. The first thing you got to do to get started is to go to the carpenter's bench, because that's where the beginning of the magic starts. So we've got to make a siege foundation as well as a trebuchet base. Okay? I've already got the siege foundation made, so now we just need to make the trebuchet base. The two are made with both shaped wood and brick for the siege foundation, and then 200 wood and 13 iron reinforcement for the actual trebuchet base. So I guess altogether the most resources you're going to be using is mainly wood and iron reinforcement. So keep that in mind. You're probably going to need close to 1,000 wood, and I'd say probably close to 50 iron reinforcement, give or take. And then you'll also need a bit of actual twine as well. So now that we've got a trebuchet base made, let's go ahead and hop out over to our siege foundation and go ahead and socket that on. Once we've got the trebuchet base set on, we go ahead, access the trebuchet base, and we find that we need to make a trebuchet frame, which takes, oh, what do you know, 200 wood and some iron reinforcement. So let's go ahead, crank that bad boy out, and then if you guys will watch, once it's all set to go, it loads in with the trebuchet frame. Right, and then the next thing is, go figure, 200 wood, 13 iron reinforcement, and 25 twine. So let's go ahead, throw those resources on there and see what happens. Which this is the trebuchet arm. How exciting. Alright, now that we've got our arm, now we can start making some magic happen. Right, so let's go over the basics of what's going on here in the menu. Over here on the right, we've got the ammunition for the trebuchet, which is the siege boulder. They're made pretty cheaply with some stone and some twine, both of which we have. So let's just go ahead and make a third one. And then we'll just load it up here, this is where you load it, in the slot. Alright? Now once that's done, we've got to have a counterweight. The counterweight has to be proper in order for this thing to fire the way you want it to. So let's just go ahead and load this bad boy all the way up to 100%. Go ahead, get a bit more stone. And that little percentage is essentially how far, that dictates how far your siege boulder will go. Because we all know how physics work. The more weight you put on a teeter-totter on one end, it will make the other end go up a lot quicker. We all know how a fulcrum goes. Everybody's taking a little bit of basic physics, I'd hope. Or maybe not. Either way, that's why I'm showing you guys this. So there, we got a bunch of stone. Let's go ahead and throw it on this trebuchet. Oh, if it'll let me access it. The trebuchet is a little bit glitchy. They have just recently released it, so try not to be too hot on it. It takes a little while to get used to. Right, so now we've got our 100% load ratio. Who isn't that exciting? Now that we've got that all set, and we've got our ammo loaded in, let's go ahead and see what this thing can do. Right. Alright, so this is how you guys use the trebuchet. So, the trebuchet luckily already comes all loaded up. So all that you gotta do, well, after you fire it, of course, you've got to use this to wind it back up. And now we've got to head back into the inventory, make sure we've still got ammo. This time, this is how you spin it around. You walk on these little planks here, and that'll spin it in the direction that it goes. So in this case, we'll go ahead and fire at this enemy base here. See if we can knock out maybe a couple guys or something. Make sure that we've got a good aim. I'd say that's a pretty decent aim, but you know what? I think we've got too much weight. So let's go ahead and take off some of the counterweight, turn it into 50. Now that we've got our shot lined up, this little lever right here in the back, all that you got to do is tap E on that lever. And that's going to go ahead and let loose our wonderful payload. So let's see if we can hit anything. Ooh, maybe. Oops, spot on. I hit that one right there. Almost took that guy out. Let's go ahead and try another shot. This way, this time a little bit to the left. To see if we can get that guy right in the doorway. Alright, let's go ahead and load it back up again. And fire away. It's actually pretty quick firing. Oh, splendid. I love siege engines. Ah, missed him again. Anyways, oh, it killed that guy. It did kill that guy. Let's go see the damage. Hey, I got my first kill with the trebuchet. Nailed that guy right in the face. Sorry guys, couldn't resist showing you that. I wasn't actually planning to do that. I just accidentally did that by accident. But anyways guys, that's the trebuchet. Right, so there's a couple more things, so stay tuned if you guys want me to bring through you the rest of the stuff in the update. Now, there are two weapon types. There's something called the Demon Fire, which is essentially an explosive type of projectile for the trebuchet. Right, so the next thing also is some other bug fixes, improvements, and stuff that the developers have just overall fixed. Right, so getting into the nuts and bolts of things. Gates now properly snap into gateways. For those of you gate builders, you guys have noticed the gates do not always properly snap into the gateways. Well, now they do, or so they say that they fixed it. And then also fence foundations, on the same note, also snap correctly to their sockets. Whether they be other structures or however you are building your fence foundations, they should work properly now. Right, and my favorite thing, besides the trebuchet of course, I forgot about that, is they've reworked the dodge mechanics. You know how when you press the shift button and you move in one direction, your character hops like a fancy little, I don't know, fancy person. Well, they've prevented you from being able to dodge forwards. So now you can only dodge backwards, to the right, and to the left. So that way, those of you people who accidentally dodge forward, that can really screw you over, because that time of being down is really not too good for you. Right, and then also the Yellow Lotus Potion is now fixed. Finally, they said that they fixed it in a previous patch, but this time they finally fixed it. So when you take the Lotus Potion and you put it back onto your Fireball Cauldron, it will now work properly to respec your skill points, which is nice. Right, and then also religion and lore NPCs. Check up there in my top right hand video for my religion trainer video. Will show you guys how to get all of the religions in the game for free without having to spend skill points. Well anyways, they've been having some problems with those guys respawning properly, so they've fixed that proper. And then also, the next thing that they fixed is the dye system. Not so much the system itself, but the ingredients. They're a little bit difficult to find, especially spread out throughout the map. They've localized them a bit more, made them easy to find for all players. And then on the same note as far as dye, I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed, whenever you grab dye, for example, over here in the Oasis, I'm up here in the top left hand corner of the map, you can get the indigo, or the true indigo dye. And whenever you harvest that, it used to not disappear when you harvested it completely, but now it should. And actually now it does not. So obviously they have still not fixed that. Oh, the developers. They try so hard, but some of these patch notes, they're not proper. So you gotta watch out on those. Sorry guys. Right, and then also an important thing is, for those of you guys who know this map pretty well, over here by the corrupted city, on the river right here, is a cave. The cave is filled to the brim with crystals, with a bunch of little imp creatures that protect it. Well, it used to be that you wouldn't be able to properly pick up crystals from the cave. Well, now you can, because they finally fixed that. Also, some cases of you guys falling dangerously through the map. Oh, I can't get back up. Well, they fixed some of those instances. I don't know, they're pretty rare. I've only had it ever happen to me once, falling into the abyss of nothingness. Also, while we're on the topic, they have fixed some of the visuals, or updated I suppose. For example, the breath meter, it's a lot prettier than it used to be. So I actually kind of like that. And also when you're talking to non-player characters, the dialogue screen is also reworked as well. So go ahead and talk to Argos there at the beginning of the game when you walk into the Oasis. He's right behind the statue. He's a cool one to talk to. And check out that new dialogue screen. Really nice. Nice little finishing touch there. And then also for the servers, for those of you guys who have fancy a lot of servers, they've tweaked the decay time of a lot of little placeables that don't necessarily affect the actual ownership of an area. So, and a lot of them actually, they've just completely gotten rid of decay from certain placeables that don't claim land. So that's nice. Also, rock nose kings over here, particularly at the salt flats, you can now probably get the rock nose king head from them. It used to be that they weren't dropping the right heads from hunters who would gather them to place trophies up on their walls. So that's finally fixed. So go get yourself some rock nose king heads. That's kind of nice. And then for you ladies out there, they've fixed the hair. Well, somewhat. Every once in a while, I still see a glitch with the hair, but the hair's getting better and better. It's probably kind of tough to get the hair just right. But, hey, that's none of my business now, is it? I'm not a developer. I'm just a guy. Leprechaun, to be exact. Right. And then other than those visual polishes I was talking about, they've also added a couple server settings to increase and decrease the rate at which your character gains corruption, particularly in the corrupted caves, as well as mainly the corrupted city. And also with that, they've also tweaked how quickly your dancers will remove it for you, and they've given the players the ability to tweak that. So that's just another nice little service thing to think about it. Right, well that does it for this update, guys. The trebuchet, great update. Really easy to work once you get it figured out. Remember, it's just use these things, walk around with them. Once you've got it all loaded up, of course you've got to load it up with that. Spin the wheel, grab the lever, and boom, pop goes the weasel. Not too difficult at all. You've got to make sure you've got ammo though, which we do not. So, anyways guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, if you enjoyed the video. And hey, if you feel like it, shoot me a sub. You guys got any questions, comments, or concerns? Feel free to send them up in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Cheers.